Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of my Pokemon Battle Series, The School of Hard Knocks. So throughout this episode, like every other, we'll be jumping on to the Pokemon Global Link Battle Spot Ladder, playing under the Championship Battle rules, which are the equivalent rule set of the VGC 2017 season. So we're back today, Wednesday, kicking off with the new team. We've had an alright start with it, really good episode yesterday featuring the team, and I have remembered to open my capture card up before recording today, so we're on point. And just to quickly cover the team, it is Tapu Lele, Arcanine, Celesteela, Driblim, Garchomp, and Snorlax. So we haven't really featured Snorlax. We didn't feature it yesterday anyway. We had a little feature of it on Monday, but hopefully we can kind of showcase that a little bit more today, because it has got quite a unique moveset. Now, what music should we go for, guys? Galadian. We haven't had that in a while, so yeah, let's go with the Galadian tune. I do like that a lot. So hopefully it doesn't take too long to find an opponent today, and then hopefully we find some more high rated battlers, because that one that we had yesterday was so close. It was just a bit frustrating. And I was thinking about it this morning when I woke up, and I was like, I should have protected the Celesteela that turn where I had the Tapu Lele out and the Celesteela, and he just had his muck, and it was obvious that the Shadow Sneak was going to come on to the Lele, so that was an obvious protect, so I can get an attack off there, but I just needed to protect the Celesteela, underestimating that the knockoff would have done as much damage with the HP that I had left. It's a bit annoying, but it's one of those things that you kind of do take on board and do kind of take forward with you, experience into next game and future games with a similar team. So it's not the end of the world, you know. You can't win every match, unfortunately. I know I would like to, but it's not probably not possible, especially not with a game like Pokemon. But it's just kind of taking those experiences and just learning from them, and that's the main thing, and that's what I try and get across on these videos. So hopefully it does kind of come across. Not as high rated opponent to start off the episode today, but I wouldn't underestimate them in the least, and a very interesting team of Oricorio, Tapu Fini, is that Charabug, Lucario, Probopass, and Rabombi. I think that's Rabombi. I don't know, the little bee bug fairy type thing. So yeah, bit of a crazy team. We've got to be careful for the Quiver Dance shenanigans. We're going to have Follow Me with the Lucario probably. The Tapu Fini, who knows what that could be doing. Calm Minding, Swaggering, and the Probopass. Well, I have no idea. It does get wide guard, so we're going in a bit blind here. I don't really know how to approach this, but we'll be alright. I think we'll be fine. We've got to be careful for that Oricorio. It is the Ghost type, so it will be threatening the Tapu Lele and the Driblim. So it's not a bad lead against that. So I think I'm going to lead Tapu Lele Driblim here. And I am going to bring the Snorlax to this game. I feel like Snorlax would be quite useful. I want the Garchomp for that Probopass, maybe. I think more reliable. We'll go Garchomp and Arcanine, because the Garchomp's going to give us that nice ground coverage for the Lucario. It's also got the Assault Vest, so it's going to be able to take special attacks a bit better than some of the other Pokemon on my team. Namely because if things start getting a bit hectic and we start seeing Quiver Dances and the Dancer ability setting off and all that crazy stuff that could potentially happen with this crazy team, then we need to have something that can kind of just lay the smack down and get the battle back into check, and Garchomp's the Pokemon to do that. So see my opponent lead off with the Charabug and the Tapu Fini. See that Tapu Lele is slower than the Tapu Fini, which is nice, so we will get the Psychic Terrain up, so we have got that big nuke in the bank to launch straight away if we want to. The only thing is here, the Driblim isn't really putting a lot of pressure on to either of these Pokemon on the field at the moment. But I wonder if I could just double into the Charabug and just nuke it with a Shattered Psyche and a Shadow Ball. That should be enough to take it out. And the nice thing is, if that Tapu Fini does go for a Calm Mind this turn, Then we have got the clear smog to get rid of that with Driblim, because I am running clear smog on it. I think it's a very good fourth tech choice, which I'll go on to at another point. But the Charbug, so my opponent reading that, obvious double into, protects it, so we're just gonna waste our Z move slightly. But we see, so we see a Hydro Vortex come out from the Tapu Fini. This will probably be onto my Tapu Lele, I'd imagine. But you never know, it might be onto the Driblim as well. So it is onto the Lele. We should be able to take this though. We are quite bulky. Yeah, so that's alright, that's not too bad. And then we'll hit back with our Z move, but it's not going to be doing very much damage at all, because that Charbug has protected. It is nice to know though that it hasn't got the, oh well, no, it could potentially have Evilite, so we can't discount that at this point. We'll be able to get a good idea from the damage this does. Yeah, that's definitely Evilite, 100%, so that is going to be a bit of a pain to get rid of. So now it is threatening my Driblim quite heavily with an electric type attack. And we're probably in range as well. I think what I'll do is just get a Tailwind up while I can with my Driblim. Not the best start to the match. If we just doubled into the Fini, we would have had a much better outcome. But I don't know, I kind of expected the Charbug not to carry protect. So yeah, I've not really played many Charbugs at all. So we'll just protect our Tapu Lele. We'll get the Tailwind up, and we'll see what my opponent goes for here. Tapu Fini Scald into the Lele, and probably an electric type attack. Spark, yeah, into the Driblim. Doing decent enough damage as well, and picking up the paralysis along the way. Okay. But we should still be outspeeding what we've got in the back. So we've got the Arcanine and the Garchomp. We really need to start doing some damage to this Tapu Fini if we want to make any headway in this match. So I'm just going to go for... I'm going to just double up into the Fini. We should still be outspeeding both Pokemon with our Driblim, because we've got the Tailwind up, and that's kind of cancelled out the paralysis there. So hopefully we don't get fully paralyzed this turn, and we can get some damage off onto this Tapu Fini. So yeah, no protects coming out for my opponent here. Doing really underwhelming damage to this Tapu Fini, just showing its bulk. And that's kind of put it in range for a Shadow Ball this next turn. So we do take the Scald, don't get burned, and we do get doubled into, so we are going to lose the Lele here. But that's not the worst thing in the world, because we can now bring in our Garchomp. Or we could bring in our Arcanine. Yeah, no, I'm gonna bring in the Garchomp here. I'm gonna go Garchomp. I'm gonna go Garchomp. Keep the Arcanine in the back. So I'm gonna go for a Rock Slide here, just to get some damage on to. Thing is, I could just go for. Yeah, Rock Slide's probably the better option. Yeah, I'll go for a Rock Slide, and I'll go for a Shadow Ball into that Fini, just to get rid of it. So the Charbug just protects here. So we should be able to get rid of the Tapu Fini this turn. Yeah, just missing out. But we're not fully paralysed with the Driblim, so that makes a little bit of difference there. Not having to rely on the flinch from the Rock Slide. And we've still got one more turn of Tailwind to go, so let's see what my opponent brings in as their next Pokemon. So it is the Probopass, which probably will have It definitely will have wide guard, 100%. 100%. So I'm going to just double into this Chorobug with a Dragon Claw and a Shadow Ball just to get some damage onto it. I'm pretty sure it's going to go for a wide guard here. Pretty sure. Yeah, so there's the wide guard. Get the Shadow Ball and the Dragon Claw into this Chorobug, get some more damage onto it. Get a critical hit there, which does help. We'll probably see another Spark come out, yeah, onto the Driblim. We should survive this. Nope. Critical hit. Okay, so that's not the worst thing in the world, because we can bring our Arcanine in now, and then we are threatening this Probopass, if that's how you pronounce it. I have no idea. It's not one of those Pokemon you face very often. It's such a crazy looking Pokemon as well. It's like a Mr. Potato Head with a huge mustache. It's just insane. So what I'll do here is just go for a Dragon Claw onto the Chorobug. I'll go for a Will-O-Wisp into that Probopass with my Arcanine, because we don't know what moves it's got. Could have, you know, Continental Crush or something like that. So we want to try and just weaken that as much as possible for any potential Z moves that come. Oh well, no, it won't be a Z move, will it? Because we've seen the Tapu Fini. See the Chorobug go for an Endure. Oh, so we will take it down to 1 HP with our Garchomp here. And we get the Will-O-Wisp off. I wonder if it's going to go for an Explosion. No, just a Power Gem. Okay, so we should be able to take another Power Gem. But I think what I might do is yeah, I'm gonna go for a. I don't want to risk the Rock Slide, because then if he goes for the Wide Guard again, then it's not ideal. I think what I'll do is just go for a. I'm just gonna go for an Earthquake this turn, and I'm gonna go for a Protect on my Arcanine. Hopefully we don't see the Wide Guard again. Yeah, of course, the Wide Guard. Here we go. So we'll see what this Chorobug's gonna do. Gonna go for a Spark. See, the thing is, in this position, I don't really want to go for a Flare Blitz into that Probopass, because it's going to chip my Arcanine down a lot. It's going to chip my Arcanine down to a point where the Power Gem will potentially pick up the KO. And I'm not massively comfortable about doing that. I really need to keep my Arcanine around. So I think what I'll do, just to preserve it here, is go for a Snarl and a Rock Slide. Hopefully we don't see another Wide Guard come out for my opponent. Hopefully that Wide Guard there has kind of put me off using it this turn, and we can kind of call the bluff here and go for double spread move. It's a bit risky, because we could then chip. Our Arcanine could obviously take a Spark again from this Chorobug. Yeah, so we don't see the Wide Guard this turn. We are seeing a Protect from the Chorobug. Do get the Rock Slide off. Oh, and it misses. But more importantly, we'll get this onto the Probopass, weaken that Power Gem. Yeah, so this is going to proc our Berry now. Yeah, so I think we're in a range now where we can probably go for the Flare Blitz and the Dragon Claw and be alright to survive the because it's only doing neutral damage, really. It's not going to be doing massive amounts of damage, because it is Steel Rock, I think. This is crazy. I feel ridiculous, like I'm like playing a little cup or something like that against this Charbug. I've not handled this match well at all. So we're going to get rid of the Charbug, and hopefully we can kind of improve this in the next game, guys. That's all I'm going to say. Find our next opponent. We'll get Flare Blitz off into this Probopass. Do decent enough damage, and when we're not on range from a power gem, but we just see a flash cannon come out onto the Garchomp here, and it'll do very minimal damage. So, and we'll see what my opponent's last Pokemon is. It's like a Calamity Shell. Let's see what else. So we've got the Lucario. Okay. Right. Now, I can't protect my my Garchomp here, so I'm just gonna go for a Dragon Claw, and I don't know if that Lucario will go for a. Because I can imagine the Probopass going for a Wide Guard again here. I'm just gonna protect my Arcanine this turn. Because I don't want to take an incoming close combat potentially from this Lucario, because we haven't got the Intimidate off and we could potentially be in range. So we say Focus Blast into the Arcanine. I'm going to get the Dragon Claw off. It's not going to do a lot of damage, but doing enough anyway, so that's not too bad. Now he knows I can't Earthquake now because I'll take out my Arcanine, but might be worth just Earthquaking, to be honest. It's not worth Earthquaking because I don't want to lose I really don't want to lose my Arcanine too prematurely. I'm just going to go for a Flare Blitz into the Lucario, Dragon Claw into that Probopass. Once that's taken down, then we should be alright. So we see a Focus Blast is going to hit into the Arcanine, but we're very specially defensive, so we should be able to take that, yeah. So get a tiny bit of chip onto this Probopass, get the Flare Blitz off, so this should KO, and finally we should be able to kind of close this game up, put it behind us. I mean, no disrespect for my opponent, because he's obviously created quite a unique kind of quirky team, and it's pretty cool. It's kind of pushed me about, so you can't say it's rubbish. It's just I don't really this is just madness playing this sort of stuff. But yeah, Charbug's a cool Pokemon, I guess, and this potato head with the mustache is kind of cool as well. But the thing is with these sort of Pokemon, they're quite obvious with what they're going to do. I mean, the Probopass, obviously not the Charbug, because I have no idea what that does anyway. So good game to my opponent there. Really nice, unique team to kind of feature, and we had matching hats, which was kind of cool. So we'll just move on, guys. Hopefully find another opponent really quickly. As well, guys, we have after this, so about an hour's time from watching this, we're going to have our QR code series back today, so that's quite exciting. So do stick around for that. That will be, I hope, a lot less calamitous than last match was. But right, let's go for some cool music here. Let's proc a really strong opponent. League title defense, definitely. That's the one, isn't it? So we're sitting on a rating of 1700. Not doing too bad. Climbing up the ladder, slowly. And like always, I'm going to touch wood now, because normally when I say anything about the ladder, we normally lose and go back down. But we have Platypus from Switzerland. So I think this is David. I'm not sure any surname, but he's a very well-known player in the community. So this isn't going to be an easy match by any means. So he's running a team of Tapu Koko, Alolan Persian, Snorlax, Mimikyu, Arcanine, and Kartana. And if I got your name wrong, I'm super sorry, man. I'm super sorry. I do know you. I've never met you before, but I do know you as a player. I've just never spoke to you. So it's going to be a super fun game. We've got to be very careful for the Mimikyu, Snorlax, obviously the Kartana as well. So how are we going to line up for this? How are we going to do this? I don't think we've got much to stop the trick. Well, we could. The thing is with stopping the Trick Room here is we kind of would be using Tapu Lele in this situation, but you don't really want to taunt into a Mimikyu, because it can carry that big ghost type attack. I am going to lead off with my Tapu Lele Arcanine. I'm going to bring my Snorlax. Am I going to bring in the Snorlax this game? I don't know if I want to bring the Snorlax this game. I don't think I'm going to bring the Snorlax this game. I'm going to bring my Garchomp and my Celesteela here. And we'll lock in with those four. See, the thing is, if he's running Belly Drum Snorlax, and I've got my Curse Snorlax, if he gets a setup before me, then it's going to make it very difficult for me to utilize my Snorlax. So I think in this situation I'd rather rely on something like Celesteela to kind of deal with that threat, but we may not see it at all. So my opponent leads off with the Arcanine and the Persian. So straight away we see that his Arcanine is faster than mine. Getting the Intimidate off first, unless it's some crazy speed tie, which I doubt it is. And we'll get the Psychic Terrain up. So what I imagine my opponent to probably do here is go for a Parting Shot and Flare Blitz into my Tapu Lele potentially. So I think I'm just gonna let's think, because the Moonblast is so obvious here onto the Persian. I think I just protect my Tapu Lele here, and I'm just gonna go for a Snarl or a Flare Blitz. I'm gonna go for a Snarl. Just because, well, the Snarl's probably not the best idea, to be honest. It's probably better going for, yeah, so we see the Parting Shot there, Flare Blitz as well, doubling into it. I should have went for the Flare Blitz, really. Because the Snarl's not really doing anything to either of these Pokemon. The Arcanine is obviously physical. So I think here we're probably better off switching into our Garchomp. Like, what is he gonna Parting Shot in here? It could be the Mimikyu, Kartana, or the Tapu Koko. So I am gonna bring in my Garchomp here, and I'm gonna go for a yeah, I'm just gonna go for a Flare Blitz into that slot, because it's probably going to go for the Parting Shot again. So we will bring in our Garchomp here. Parting Shot into the Garchomp, yeah. Let's see. If it's at Kartana, it's going down, but I can't imagine it will be. It'll probably be the Mimikyu, I'd imagine, here. But it is the Snorlax, okay. So we could have went for a Will-O-Wisp there and caught the Snorlax with that. That would have been quite nice. So, Garchomp easily able to take the Flare Blitz there. And just get some recoil. And we get the Flare Blitz off onto this Poison Snorlax. Yeah, doing a bit of damage, not loads. And actually picking up the burn, that's huge. That's huge. That's really unfortunate for my opponent there. What I was just about to say is the next turn going into this, I was going to go for the Will-O-Wisp into the Snorlax and then switch out my Garchomp into my Celesteela. But that is super unfortunate for my opponent here. You could still go for the Belly Drum, which is a definite threat. But I think I need to try and I need to be a bit quicker about this. So I think I'm gonna switch in my Tapu Lele and I'm gonna switch in my Celesteela. I'm gonna make the double switch here. I want to get a Leech Seed off into that Snorlax, and because he hasn't got the Trick Room set up yet, oh, he hasn't got the Belly Drum off yet, I need to be able to have something to pressure the Snorlax. with a big nuke like the Shattered Psyche. So that's the main reason, trying to get the Tapu Lele in here. So let's see what the Snorlax goes for. Just goes for a Protect, so it reveals that. So is that Persian going to stay in and go for a taunt onto the Celesteela? I think it's worth going, just kind of covering my bases here by going for a Moonblast into the Persian. If it stays in and it goes for the taunt onto the Celesteela, then at least we're getting some kind of a movement with this turn rather than losing everything and not getting anything at all. So I will go for the... Yes, we just see the fake out. So it does stay in, so that's fine. So we will be able to take down this Persian this turn. So that's good. We get rid of one threat. And we're not taunted as well. I think the taunt there would have been a lot worse than the flinch. We do see the belly drum. Okay. So we will see the Snorlax power up, and it will proc the berry. But this isn't the worst situation at all in the world, because the Arcanine can come in now, but we've still got our Arcanine in the back. Our Arcanine in the back to bring in to get an Intimidate off onto potentially like the Kartana or potentially the Arcanine that's going to come in this slot now. Yeah, so it is the Arcanine. The thing is, though, we have seen the Protect on this Snorlax, so we've got to be very careful with when we launch our Shattered Psyche into this slot. And I think I'm going to do it now. I'm going to do it now, because even if the Snorlax protects, we'll be able to get some damage onto it. And by just bringing in our Arcanine here, if that opposing Arcanine goes for an Infernal Overdrive, it's going to mean the Tapu Lele can survive it. If that Snorlax doesn't protect, it's going down to a Shattered Psyche here. So if we can get this off, I imagine the Snorlax will probably protect here. Yeah, it does. But like I say, if it didn't and it went for a Recycle there, we don't want it to kind of get that berry back. So that's the main thing. We are going to take a Flare Blitz from this Arcanine. Does really good damage as well. And we're going to get the Shattered Psyche off into this Snorlax. So it'll be interesting to see how much damage this does. We still have got the Psychic Terrain up. I can't imagine it be doing that much damage. But it'd be nice if we do about 25% of health, what it's got at the minute. That would maybe put it into Flare Blitz range with the burn. No way, no way, no way, no way. So, maybe in Flare Blitz range? I doubt it. I doubt it. That's the thing. See, I want to bring in my Garchomp now on this Tapu Lele slot. But then we're giving the Snorlax the chance to get a Recycle off, and we don't really want it doing that. So I'm going to bring in the Garchomp for the Tapu Lele, and I'm going to just have to go for the Flare Blitz and hope that it is enough to take out the Snorlax. We haven't been intimidated, so that's the main thing. Oh, and we could have stayed in with our Lele there. So let's see. It's all about this Flare Blitz. If this Flare Blitz is enough, then we can quite easily close out the game. But if it's not, then it's going to make things a lot harder, because that Mimikyu this next turn is going to be able to set up a Trick Room. But we do get the KO there, so that's huge. That's nice. That's really nice. Really nice. So it's going to make closing this game up so much easier. Alright. So we just got the Arcanine and the Mimikyu to deal with now. We still have to be aware that that Mimikyu could potentially have play rough. Sorry, I need to get my words out. I think here, because I want. What I'm going to do is go for an Earthquake. I'm just going to go for an Earthquake. I'm going to switch in my Celesteela here. because I want to get an Intimidate. I want to cycle some Intimidates on both of these Pokemon. I can't imagine the Arcanine going into the Arcanine slot with a Flare Blitz. If it is, a very good call by my opponent if he does do that. Yep, excellent call. Brilliant call. Taking down the Celesteela. Probably procking a berry. No berry. So we're going to take the Arcanine down here. We'll break the disguise on that Mimikyu. And we'll probably, what we're going to do, take a Play Rough. Or we're going to see a Trick Room maybe. Or a Shadow Claw or something. I don't know. Garchomp should be able to survive whatever attack kind of comes out here. So Play Rough, yeah. Yeah, so we're able to take that. And we've got the Arcanine now, so I mean, we're going to be able to close this game up with just Arcanine by itself, because we've got the Will-O-Wisp to go on to the Mimikyu. And the Flare Blitz. So we should be alright. We should be fine. So I'm just going to go for a Rock Slide, and I'm going to go for a Will-O-Wisp into the Mimikyu, really shut it down with the Will-O-Wisp. And my opponent just forfeits. So very good game to my opponent there. Like I say, the burn was a bit unfortunate on the Snorlax because it kind of saved me a turn having to do that the next turn, and that was the big kind of changing point there. And made it really difficult to kind of get any momentum with the Snorlax from that point on. So it was slightly unfortunate, but that's the sort of thing that happens, you know. Flare Blitz, it hasn't got the biggest chance to burn, but when it does, it's kind of really fortunate for you when that happens. So very good game to my opponent there. It was a pleasure playing you, and guys, we'll wrap things up there. So we had a really weird first game with a really weird bunch of Pokemon that you hardly ever see, which is really cool. I'm just going to call it Mr. Potato Head with the huge mustache, because that's all Probopass is. And then we had a really cool game against Mr. Platypus there, so that was a pleasure playing you there, sir, and we'll wrap things up. So guys, as always, if you've enjoyed this episode, please leave a like. It's massively appreciated. It really helps the channel out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe to the channel, and you'll get all the daily updates for when these videos are coming out, and the QR codes, the team review episodes, and all the other little bits that we do. Sorry, I keep just picturing this potato head thing with a big mustache, and it's cracking me up slightly, so I need to be bit sensible, so apologize about that, guys. Yeah, so subscribe to the channel, leave a like, all that jazz and stuff like that. So guys, we'll call it a day there, but I'll see you about an hour's time for a QR code series special, and pleased to be back with that. It's really nice to kind of get that back on. And of course, if you've got any questions about anything in the episode today, just shoot me a comment in the comment section below, and I will get back to you. But until tomorrow, guys, you enjoy the rest of your evenings. Whatever you're doing, take care of yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow. So until then, as always, coined phrase, bye bye.